it's wrong to say that the changes that we're seeing in this institution are a result of just council action. It's a two-way street. And I think that there was a massive missed opportunity by the administration, by the mayor. And this just isn't about finger pointing. I think both sides of our government need to sort of look in the mirror and figure out how we're going to mitigate some of the fighting. It's democracy. Fighting is kind of the deal, right? That's okay. But I think we both need to look in the mirror and kind of figure out how we mitigate some of this. How we make sure that staff aren't caught in the crossfire. How we make sure that we're not putting ourselves and others in awkward situations. But I think that I think that it would be a mistake to say that it's a matter of political expediency when talking about the council, but not when we're talking about the mayor. I think that's a mistake. I think it's a mistake to say that the lack of communication came from the budget chair and vice chair and not from the other side of the administration. I think that's a mistake. And I think that if we're going to go hand in hand into the future and sort of double down on this effort to reconcile government restructure and change the way that we govern, that we got to do it together. And I think that more and more we're seeing a little bit of a deepening partisanship, and I don't think that council is driving that culture change. I'll say that. People can disagree with that, but I don't think council is driving that culture change. If we want to debate that, we can debate it, because I got evidence, and none of you guys can argue with me. I'll just say that. The thing that is most important here for us to recognize is that we have been told horror stories about future budgets ever since I've been in office. Ever since I've been in office, we've been told horror stories about what this budget's going to be for the next budget and so on and so forth. They've never come to fruition. I have seen some things come to fruition that I never thought would happen. I saw the city settle a $20 million lawsuit. I thought we wouldn't repeat that, only to repeat it just a few years later. And so if we want to talk about spending, how we get the taxpayers' money under control, I think we have to talk about the whole pot. We have to talk about the whole institution. And so that's sort of my call here that I'll leave us on, to say that fear-mongering on one side or the other, right, finger-pointing to one side or the other, I think is a huge mistake. I think that it would behoove the mayor to give some phone calls over the holiday. I think it would behoove us to give the mayor and some of his staff some phone calls over the holidays to figure out how we're going to mitigate this, if there's a genuine desire to mitigate this next year. I'm not always convinced that there is a genuine desire. I think some folks have calculated that the mess is politically good for them. But if that's not true, let's work on that. Let's work on it.